Okay, so what am I looking at here?
Okay, so this is the desktop side to where, the dispatcher is going to be doing about 95% of all their work, where you'll be able to see all of your loads, your dispatch sheets, your what we call trips, all of the VINs that a manufacturer has sent to you, has assigned to you to come pick up. And basically, right here is where you'll be doing 95% of your day to day. The rest of the screens, it just depends on accounting and whatever other functions that you need to do.
Right. So here you are. Let's say you're the dispatcher or fleet manager. Maybe you're even the owner or a family member, and you are looking at the dashboard to manage the loads that we're going to move, that we already have moved, right? We're building trips. This is the
Exactly.
dashboard.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and build an order.
Okay.
And just so you know, with manufacturers, how it works, once you have a connection with a manufacturer and a contract, they will electronically send you VINs to come get when they're ready. So how that would look in our system is you would come over to a tab called OEM VINs, and you're going to start to see a listing of VINs. So in this case, we have a whole bunch of Porsches, and there's a little checkbox that says released, not released. So you can see, oh, okay, I have a total of 11 in my system, only five are ready to come get. So let's just work with those five. And then as you continue on in the system, to build the order, all you have to do is pick one that you want to make an order out of, drag and drop it. It's going to give you your pickup location, your delivery location, who's paying for it, and the VIN as well.
Nice. I like that drag and drop. That's cool.
Most definitely. So, and then also when you deal with manufacturers, they also have rate sheets as well that we can upload to our system. So this VIN I picked didn't have it, but you can see freight, fuel, and we work off of their standards on those rates.
Cool.
So after you put it on, click create. And what that'll do is that'll kick off a series of events. That's going to tell the manufacturer, okay, I got the VIN, I put it onto an order. If there's anyone that wants to get an email notification that you create that order, they can get a notification with tracking information and anything in addition to that as well.
So yeah, right. Because I wanna. Let's do this. I want to pause for a second. So in this case, really, because you've got so many people concerned with different aspects of the vehicle. I mean, you've got the dealer that wants to make sure it gets picked up.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the driver that wants to make sure that he's got loads. Right.
Exactly.
You got the owner. Well, let's talk about the account. You got the accountant that wants to make sure they can track the expenses. You've got the owner that wants to make sure that this company is working and we're going to make money at doing this.
Exactly.
And your software will help everybody in that supply chain with their part of the business.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're here to do is give transparency to what your company is doing from all the way from a dispatcher to a driver to an accountant to the manufacturer. What's going on with these movements?
Right.
That's what we provide.
And more and more, and that's cool because more and more, I think I was saying to you 3 years ago, if I said what mobile app are you using, people are like, huh? And now
Yeah.
it's not like that. People are like, well, yeah, I mean, I know that sometimes I have to use a mobile app, but I don't know I don't know what to do. And I say, well, how do you manage all your dispatches and your information? Like, well, I got emails and apps and really, so you don't have any central management system, nothing. Like,
Right.
what if your email inbox was just like stuff floating around? That'd be crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny how many people I've dealt with that had boards with sticky notes all over their office, and that's how they were managing it before they came over to us. Just sticky
Wow.
notes and Excel spreadsheets and emails. That's how they did it for
Wow.
years.
Wow. Right. And it's now, if you don't have a central transportation management system, TMS, then and your customers more and more, I mean, they're what's interesting, Ty and I were talking about this last week. A new car customer, when they buy a car from a dealership, they want to use their app. They want everything digital, no messing around. And
Exactly.
they want that app to remember where in the process they are. So when they walk into the dealership can go, yeah, we just saw you on the app. We're ready to continue the conversation. And if the dealership can't do that, they're gone. That's no joke. It's 2019. So if, as the dealer, you've sold the car, and now the car hauler comes to pick it up, and the dealer is like, well, can I just like drag it and send it to your app? What?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Right.
That's going to be a problem.
On that note of being able to be transparent with dealerships, we have a shipper portal where they can log in and see all VINs and their statuses with you without having to call you or anything. They have a username and login,
Wow.
and they can go, hey, what's going on with this car? Then they can click, see photos, and you could see on here, like, we have pickup dates, delivery dates, all these different VINs. And these are just for your company with that dealership.
Wow, that's neat. Wow, so you've got a shipper portal just for the cars, and obviously your system manages everything. And that seems to be one of the things about your system is that there's all these, I don't know, what are they, queries? Did you call them pools?
Pools is another topic. We'll get to that later.
But you have a way of compartmentalizing all of the loads, even though it's all under one big system. This is why,
well,
right?
In that case, yes, that would be pools.
Those are pools.
And how that is right here in that section where you see main, you have these different pools to where you can separate, like, okay, hey, I just want this dispatcher to work with this stuff. I have a port that I pull out of. I just want to see VINs that are in that port. And so, yeah, you can compartmentalize in multiple different ways.
Because that's the other problem. Well, there's actually many. You run into many problems. That's why you guys know why it's so important to have such a smart software. Is that, let's say you have a TMS that can handle a lot of orders, but now everybody's seeing the same stuff. How do you stay organized?
Exactly. And we've already crossed that road to be able to separate it.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Basically the way that you want. It's very flexible in that sense.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, I know it's so easy to go into tangents. You must be used to that with people. They get excited and there's okay, so
definitely.
All right, so please continue if you remember where we were.
Oh yeah. Okay. So going back, after we created that order, it puts it into what we call the BOLs tab or loads tab. And you're going to see all of your active orders here. And see that little color band on the left-hand side of it?
Yeah.
Green and purple and blue and yellow. Those correlate with this legend up top to tell you this is how many orders you have in this status. So we have 2 that are ready to be dispatched. 56 dispatched, 22 picked up, 29 delivered. It's kind of an easy visual indicator. But from here, now you have those 2 that are ready, so let's go ahead and dispatch them. And how you do that is you create a new trip. You're going to select who is my tablet driver or my tablet user, which would be your driver. So do end driver, now it's driver. You can select what equipment they have, what carrier they are, put trip notes on here. And then let's go ahead and add some of these orders over. So I'm going to go ahead and just add this one. So we got going from Pasha to this Rockland Porsche. And then basically that order is dispatched. That's assigned to a driver. So I'm going to add another one. And you see how there's these dark lines that are P's and D's. And then underneath that, there's detail. So the dark lines stand for you need to stop here. You have work to do. And then if there's multiple VINs on an order, it's going to continue to elaborate and expand on that. So if I want to do pickups or deliveries in a specific order, I can drag and drop them. Okay, do a pickup, then a delivery. And however you order this is how it's going to show on the driver app for them to start working.
And that's cool too, because you do hear, by the way, I want to say this, is that, I mean, I know, like, actually, good software does get me excited. I don't think it gets everybody excited. It probably gets you get excited. I do get excited because when you have there's 142 loads just in here, is that right? Am I seeing that right?
Yeah.
How in the world do you manage 142 loads efficiently and effectively, accurately, with many drivers, and you don't have time to screw around and try and get reorganized. I mean, the phone is
Exactly.
ringing and you're getting emails and you need it to work, right?
Yep.
And I like how it also helps you instruct the driver so he doesn't miss, so you don't leave National City without that car.
Exactly. And as they start going through and working as a dispatcher, if you go in, you can see these statuses update the colors, and then inside the trips themselves. Like if I go to an older trip, let's see if we got one. See how that's highlighted blue? As a dispatcher, I can see, oh, yeah, the driver finished that. It's done. He's on his
Wow.
way to Thomas Edison's, you know?
Nice. Peace of mind. Isn't that what we all want?
Yep. And
Yeah.
you touched on you're getting all these emails and phone calls. One thing I want to touch on is our notification system, which it's pretty slick in the sense of for every single customer, all of them have their own individual customer profile. And in their customer profile, you can assign different events to kick off in the system to email them status updates. So you don't have to email them, you don't have to call
Oh
them. You
man.
could just put in, okay, we created an order, it's been dispatched, picked up, delivered, there was damages, final EPOD, whatever event that you want, you put in their email. As soon as that happens, whether you creating an order in the dispatch or the driver doing something with the app, whether it's pick up or deliver or damage, an email will get kicked off, automated.
And that's I was looking at like here's email invoice when billed. So like you can almost hear different parts of the company go, "Oh, I want an update." Okay, well, accounting, you get your update. Inventory, you get your update. The dispatcher, you get your update. The driver won't get a phone call. Did you deliver it? Oh, how about this? I just saw that one. Email damages. You know that
Mm-hmm.
one. Somebody's like, listen, I'm good. I just want to be notified if there are damages.
Yep. And in addition to this, not only for the customer, see how there's notes and dispatcher notes? The
Oh,
notes tab go to the driver. As soon as they pop at that location in the app, the notes pop up right in their face and they have to click a button saying, yeah, I read those. So they can't say, what do you mean I couldn't park in the driveway?
oh man, no, and that you know what? And that stuff's huge. And in fact, if you say don't park in the driveway, you don't want that showing up on the invoice.
Yeah, yeah. And it's kind of part of the dispatcher notes too. There's some things that you want to keep internal and not let the drivers know.
Right? Like I'm furious, or whatever. Or maybe it's something funny. Or maybe, make sure you get your lunch money off the tire. You don't want that on the invoice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, man. This is really, really it's a really smart layout. Lots of tabs, which is I'm a big again, being somebody who I like to have a good file cabinet, as I like to
Mhm.
see software that makes me feel like I'm looking at a smart file cabinet.
Exactly. And everything here, every button, every section has, a reason to be there. We never develop anything in a void. We always work with auto haulers to develop features for this.
Yeah, wow. Wow, and there's so many. Okay, and so like, all right, so in this TMS, like you've got your new car space with your right EDI from your vendors, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so like, let's talk about used car space for a bit. I know we got a lot of used car people here, right? This is a very we got used and carriers is a big part of who's tuning in or who's gonna watch later. So
Right.
what if you're getting dispatches from random brokers off of Central? How do we tackle that?
Okay, so how that is handled is what you'll do is from that particular system, like we'll do one dispatch here. You could download the PDF to your desktop,
Yeah.
and then we have an upload BOL PDF feature here. So you click this, select who am I doing it from. So we'll do one dispatch, select the file. I've got some loaded up here. I'll do number one, open, upload, it's created. So what that did is you can see the top right, 464 has been created. And I'll come back over to my BOLs tab, and you can see a new order has already been created, just like that.
From the
So let me edit
dispatch
it.
sheet. Nice. All right, and there's all the
And what I'll show
fields.
you
Wow. Mm-hmm.
is if we don't find the customer profile already in your system, we'll create the pickup, the delivery, and the bill too. We'll import the VINs from it and the rates from it.
Cool. And you know, since I was a dispatcher, one of the things that I developed as one of my core beliefs and work principles was that even though I can get information off of Central and send it across. I like to have the dispatch sheet. If once I get a
Right.
dispatch, I save it as a PDF, and then here in your system, you just import that PDF.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not only do we import it, we don't throw it away.
Yeah.
We make it
Oh,
accessible and attach it to that order.
that thing's
So
important.
exactly, and now you have a paper trail that you can grab at any time. So on here, you can click View Docs, and it's going to pull up that one dispatch sheet that I have.
There it is. I love it. Yeah, no, I don't know how many times I've had to reference the original dispatch sheet, and when I don't have it, I'm kicking myself.
Yep. So as long as you can find the order, you can pull it up.
Yeah, man. I save, in fact, I just, in general, PDFs, again, I talked about file cabinets. PDFs are important files to keep in your file cabinet. Keep them. Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, man. Yeah, you can, like you just said, you can attach it to the order. You can attach pictures, gate passes, invoices, sticky notes.
Yeah. Whatever you need, you could just upload it. I believe we accepts PDFs, JPEGs, PNGs. Just upload it, and now it's forever attached to that order.
All right, cool. So then, okay, and I see a reports tab.
Oh yeah. So plenty of different reports.
Wow.
That's one of those things where it kind of comes into what's your need, and do we have a report for it? All right, there we go. If not, we'll work with you and make one.
Wow.
If the information is in the system, we can get it out.
GoPhore Auto Carrier Software. The first guy's done with their homework.
You got to go for it.
You gotta go for it. That's awesome. Hey man, show us. Let's do this. I want to see some of the mobile app. Are you ready to show us some mobile app?
Yeah, I think Niles actually has it queued up on his screen share.
All right, Q. Let's do that, and then we can get into some more of the FAQ stuff.
All right. Can you see the screen?
I see the screen. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. So whether it's Android or Apple device, you'll log in, or you'll open the app after you download it, and then every driver has a username and login, and they'll go ahead and punch that information in. And then you'll see this trip that we're logged into is the exact one that we just made in dispatch a few minutes ago. And you can see trip notes here. The driver, as soon as he logs in, he has to verify he saw the trip notes. And then he'll see exactly what you put on the dispatch trip on his device in the same exact order.
Right. Yeah, you just added that, right?
Yeah.
Don't park in the driveway. There it is.
Yep. Don't park in the driveway.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that as well on this screen, you can actually have, well, actually on the screen prior, you can have notes underneath as well. So like when you're routing things, you can actually make those are stop lines. Those are the places the driver has to stop. But you can actually make lines in between that say something that's not a normal stop. Like hey, you need to go wash your truck. Or you need to go pick up something that's not like a car, not like a normal order. Like you can put additional lines as the dispatcher here that the driver would see before even arriving at a stop.
Awesome.
They could see a separate line telling them they need to go do something.
Awesome. That's cool. I like that.
And that's something that's based off of like actual,
it's
developing this with users of the system. They're like, hey, we need to do this.
I was just gonna say, because as a dispatcher, if you have multiple drivers, you feel like you constantly have stuff you need to tell them.
Yeah.
You do. And so if your technology can help you manage your constant communication, that's awesome.
Yeah, you can, so when you tap the pickup, you have all kinds of information there. Uh, if they need to call ahead, you can put that note. It'll have the contact information. The map button will actually like interface with your device's Google Maps or an iOS map to bring up the location.
Sweet.
So
Yeah.
the BOL button just brings up a PDF of the actual order.
That's cool. I mean, sometimes you just want to see the BOL.
Yeah, and in addition to that, since it downloads the PDF to your device, you can text it, you can print it, email it, whatever you need to as the driver. Like, oh, okay, they want a copy of it in this way.
Yeah. Even if you're done with the site, like when you're done with the site, you can't re-arrive at it. That's something we lock out.
Okay.
Once you've outgated a site, you're like, I picked up everything, I'm done, I got my signatures, I outgate, it's locked. You can't go back in and change something someone signed for, right? That's that's kind of a no-no.
Right. Well, and and the thing is, sometimes drivers get in a hurry or they feel some pressure about something. So sometimes things happen, and
Yeah, I mean, there's always exceptions, and trust me, we deal with those
sure
as they
do.
come up.
Yep,
but
yep.
but by and large, you want to make sure that when someone signs that says yes, this was cracked when it was picked up, that someone doesn't go back in afterwards and add some additional cracks.
Well, and really, this too. Once you've designed a good dashboard and a good mobile app, and it works, and people know how to use it, you're robust. Now you're just focused on let's get more orders and more drivers and more trucks. Yeah.
So now, if you want to arrive at the stop there, so when you arrive, like it brings up, and it like right in their face, and this is on request. He's got to touch that. He's got to touch it and like read it. He's got to click it. He's got to sign on the dotted line. He read what I said.
That's awesome.
So from here, you can tap the VIN to expand it. You can you can see your photos. You can take your photos. You can mark up the photos themselves. You can do your wireframe markup, all that kind of stuff. Up in the corner, actually.
Oh, I'm ahead of you.
Oh, okay. You're doing the markup. Yeah, see, it rotates landscape for you to do the markup.
That's sweet. Cool.
Yeah.
But up in the corner there, you see like the barcode scanner.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Uh-huh.
So those are on request. One is for Bluetooth scanner for people to have a Bluetooth scanner attached to their device, and the other is
like an additional device that attaches. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Like you have a Bluetooth headset, for your phone or something.
Mm-hmm.
They make Bluetooth scanners, and we have some companies that use those.
Right. Okay.
And then the other one that just looks like a barcode is the actual
that's the phone.
Camera phone.
The
yeah.
Camera. Yeah. The camera.
So you can scan a VIN, and it'll actually select the VIN.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
right. So like,
man, it's a great
let's say
tool.
you're processing 20 VINs at a location, right? How do I, especially if you're picking up like 20 of the same, you're picking up Porsche and it's 20 of the same car.
Yeah.
Right? What do? Scan the VIN, the right one opens up for you. Go do all the stuff you need to do. Next VIN.
That saves so much time. That's a big deal. In fact, sometimes all is that you're picking up 20 units. Just scan the VINs. We don't even have all the information. Just go here, go get them.
Yeah.
Go scan the VINs. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a super huge.
Probably doesn't happen as much in OEM though, right? In OEM,
in OEM, you know what you're getting.
Yeah, you know what you're getting. Yeah.
Just from the EDI transmission, you should know.
Right.
It's a little less common, but
and to attest to yours, so, if you have 20 and they're like, "Hey, come get them," the driver does have the ability to create an order from the app, and it backfeeds into the office with the scanned VINs and the status of that order.
Yep.
So in this way, the driver is feeding the dispatch office the information because he's there with the cars. Yeah. Which again is very common in the secondary market. I mean, someone might say, there's 10 at the dealership. They're out in the back lot. Go get them.
Right. Or maybe they said come pick up 5, and they're like, you know what? I'm at 7.
Yeah, that happens a lot too.
So you want to be able to add stuff as needed. Although that said, depending on your communication, the dispatcher can also add it in the back office, and then the driver can just tap refresh on his app, and boom,
Nice.
we have an update. So
Right, because driver could be at location and the dispatcher gets the information. So
right, or
either
maybe
way.
he's not even there yet. Maybe just he's on the way.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
as long as whenever you do any event on the app, what we call a communication event. Anytime basically the screen changes, really. You arrive, you load, you sign. Anytime you do something, it updates to the server and then pulls everything back.
Nice.
And anytime you do something, it's refreshing the data.
So you don't have like loads that aren't, they were already picked up, but they still say picked up, or right? These like hangers on, you're like, where is it? Like lost children,
Right, and then like Niall showed you on the dispatch end, is it actually like not only does it highlight for the driver when he picks up stuff, and he can see that he's done with it, but on the dispatch end, it colors it, so the dispatcher just pulls up the trip and go, oh,
Yeah.
he's picked up the first 3 locations, he must be en route to the 4th location. You almost have a good idea of where he is at that point.
And
If it's if he outgated the 3rd location at 1 in the afternoon and you know where he's going next, you probably know where he is.
right, that's right. That's right. You can logically follow, since you have enough breadcrumbs, you can start to put the picture together on the other end, even though you may not.
I mean, we have tracking as well, and we do
Right.
that. We do actual GPS tracking, but I mean, even without resorting to that, you can. It's pretty easy to figure out what's going on.
Nice. Hey, by the way, show me a couple photos. Like, show me. So, like, what about like marking damages on photos? You can do all that,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
So it's just going to be black photo because tablet's on the ground.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So after you take every photo, it just keeps opening the photo app until you back out. So you can
Okay.
take a whole bunch of photos right away.
Awesome.
Then after that, you expand, click markup photos. And it's going to tell you to select which photo you want to do markup on.
Oh,
It'll
nice.
show you that. Select
So
which
that nice
damage it is.
crystal clear black picture.
Oh yeah.
It's
Crystal clear.
awesome, man. We're picking up at midnight.
Yeah. And your flash is broken.
Exactly. But that's right. That's easy.
Right. Save.
Cool.
There you go.
And I saw on their AIAG codes. So if you're picking up new cars, you can mark AIAG codes. Once again, this is a software that works for used cars in the secondary market or new car OEM. And that's just
I'd like to
awesome.
point out
I love
that so the AIAG codes has a section for just putting in codes, because they get like really specific,
yeah,
like not just a scratch, but severity of scratch.
severity of scratch.
Like is it how long is it, how deep is it? There's different codes, right?
Like,
Yeah.
where is it?
Right.
On
So
the windshield.
where is it, the type, and the severity.
Wow.
But I want to point out that the type codes, that's the same codes we use on the wireframe markups, right? So when you're marking up just a normal wireframe, and you're putting that, glass cracked, and you put it on the windshield, you're putting code 20. So it may not have the severity, but essentially even your wireframe markup is halfway to AIG already. If that makes sense.
That is cool. Yeah, no, I like that. No way, it's intuitive.
Yeah, it's consistent is the other thing. We don't have 2 different sets of codes for damages.
Right. No, that is good. Right. So even I follow you. And I saw that you had a place for signatures. Oh, what's this? Load vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you can specify which direction it's facing.
Whether it's tied down. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, that was actually a request from a client.
Wow.
Because now we just default it, because there are plenty of people and places don't use it.
Right.
So if you don't use it, doesn't matter. You can just ignore it. But that's actually was on request some people want to say,
pretty cool.
hey, this is position number 3. It's facing reverse, and we didn't tie it down. We want to know that.
Wow.
Same thing with the keys. I personally wasn't aware that the keys thing was a big deal, but
well,
really,
right, and you don't see it all the time, but once again, I've seen where that could be important to somebody.
Yeah, well, I guess it matters more if there's multiples. You know, there's like for whatever reason, there's three copies of the key going with the car. You want to make sure that if you sent it with 3 keys, it gets there with 3 keys, and one doesn't vanish somewhere.
You kind of want that.
So that's kind of the point of that.
How about this? Here we go. Here's a pop quiz. What about autofill? So I've delivered to this guy before. Do I need to re-enter his whole address? When?
Oh no.
No.
Not in like I maybe it didn't pick up from Niall's demo earlier, but even when you import an order like the central dispatch to BOL, like the PDF, even when you import that, if that address doesn't exist in the system, it makes that address and puts it in the system. So now you have it.
Oh wow.
Right? So you're not retyping that. Smart. You're not typing it in the first place. It's importing it.
Right. Smart.
But you're not retyping it either. You would just, type in the name, and go, oh, okay, there it is. I'm going to use that one.
Yeah, I mean, the driver hates that when they got to retype stuff, and, you need a smart contacts book, Smart contacts. Yeah. Does it have smart contacts? Just tell me.
It has
you just start typing the name, and if you've done business with them before, it'll give you the result.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's very searchable.
It saves. Does it save the driver's signature? He doesn't have to sign every time, does he?
No, the driver. So you don't sign per car. You would sign per stop.
Oh, okay.
But the driver does sign when the customer signs.
Okay.
I think that's because the tablet can change, right? Or maybe one driver picked up, one driver's delivering. Maybe your tablet broke and you're I'm gonna use my phone now. I had a work tablet. I ran it over. I'm gonna grab the app on my phone real quick. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But so the other thing I think is it's just part of that kind of more relational thing. Like when you're interacting as the driver with the customer and you're having them sign, they see you sign. We both agree your car had this scratch when I picked this up.
And I'm glad you said that, because that is actually that. Now we're talking about the customer, whether it's the shipper or it's a dealer or POV customer, is they want to feel like the game isn't rigged, that everybody's doing their part. Turn your key, sir, and you go to the safety deposit box. Like, you don't show up at the safety deposit box and it's already open and the bank's already got all the money, but then you both turn your key and you go through a process, a valid process.